Community Viewpoint with John Pawlak and Maria Hurst.
And welcome back to Community Viewpoint. Well, you haven't been here yet today. Welcome to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pawlak, your host once again. And we're going to have a good time today. Get comfortable. I see you're getting comfortable there. You put on a little bit more clothes if you would. So we're going to be talking about something called crowdfunding today and the things that it can produce. It's like... It's a lot easier than getting grants. We live by grants. Many of the places I've worked for in the past, nonprofit organizations, we get grants. We have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops. Another way to get funding, it's called crowdfunding. And I have with me a gentleman, Robert Murray, who's an artist who's done some crowdfunding. And with this segment, we're going to be talking about how he got involved in crowdfunding himself. So, Robert, we're going to welcome you to Pahrump. You're from Denver?
I am, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, and look, we match.
Yeah.
Yes. But, and you're here just for the weekend then?
I am. I'm here for the weekend. Okay. And while here visiting with you guys, I have some friends here in the Vegas area that I'll be visiting, catching up with them as well.
Okay. So this was your first try at crowdfunding?
This is.
Okay. And you got it started by, you're an artist.
Correct.
Right. And what you did, you went to an event, was it last year you went there?
It was last year, correct.
And you made a vehicle, a tricycle?
I did.
Trike?
I made a trike, a three-wheel bicycle, and was very excited about it. Yep, there we go.
And that cost you a few bucks, right?
It did, and the nice part about this, I went to several Habitat for Humanity for one, and they sell a lot of construction pieces for people that need a little bit better pricing for doing home improvement. And so I actually got a lot of pieces from their garage sales, and of course my local hardware store. And probably total together, I'm looking at on that particular piece, I probably spent about $1,500 to $2,000 on it. Okay,
so you decided that went over really good with the event that we went to.
I did. It was very exciting. Received a lot of attention because it was something that is different.
That light up too?
It did light up.
Okay, cool.
It did light up. I actually put in a little sound system in it as well. So I utilized computer speakers and a bass system and hooked up my iPod to this. And so I was able to have some music, had some lights on there. So it was very exciting.
Okay. And I have a few artist friends in town here too, and let me tell you, it costs a lot of money to build what you think is the best thing you can build for your artist mind to, this is what I want. Oh, Absolutely. This is going to cost me an arm and a leg. So you decided this went very well, you wanted to do something bigger. Absolutely. So you needed more money than you had?
I did, and that's that comfortable balance between what I want to do as an artist and the project that I want to do and create, and of course your pocketbook. And anyone that has a loved one in their life, you've got to also have that balance as well, yes. Because you want to make sure that not only are you excited and happy about it, but your loved ones are too, and you don't want to have a strain on any type of family income or any activities. You don't want to change those activities for your year, your summer, when you're developing this project.
Right. You don't want that to engulf you. You want to enjoy your life and not have your art piece, dictate to you.
Absolutely.
So by going to this crowdfunding is, there's with the encyclopedia, Wikipedia says, it is a practice of funding a project or venture by raising money contributions from a large number of people, specifically on the internet. One early stage equity expert described it as a practice of raising funds from two or more people over the internet towards a common service, project, product, investment, or cause, or an art piece.
Absolutely.
So I learned of this about 2 or 3 years ago, And I think 2006, a lot of these things came around, 2005. So this is brand new concept.
Yes.
And the same thing with you?
Absolutely, and that's a piece that I first heard of crowdfunding probably about 2 years ago, and that's something that has stuck in the back of my mind as an option. But I really didn't know much about it. How can I utilize this service and a feature for whether it be an artist, a creator, or someone that is looking to renovate or do something, but need a little bit of assistance?
Now, I started small. I don't know if you joined any of the crowdfunding sites for other projects, but the top three are, I think it is, one of them is the Indiegogo.
Right.
I've been with that one. Then I've been with Kickstarter. That's the one you're with.
That's what I'm with.
But the biggest one, I really haven't delved into that. And GoFundMe is supposed to be the largest one.
That's correct.
And GoFundMe has got $470 million they made. Kickstarter's 444. And they, what these people do, they charge a small fee.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
If you have a grant, they're going to charge a fee.
Yes.
There's like a 10% administration fee right there. So this is not any worse than regular grants.
No.
There's less interference too, from what I understand, especially if it's a federal grant.
Yes, that is correct. And when it comes to any type of setup, your paperwork, your applications, involving any type of federal, state grant, there's just a lot of hoops that you have to go through. And you're putting so much into this that it's not going to be a guarantee. And then, of course, neither is crowdfunding either. That is not a guarantee.
Right.
But it is definitely for someone that wants to start out small or grand. I have seen, and I've done some research with other projects where folks have started out as small as a $500 project, and I've seen a $100,000 project with these folks. So depending on what you're looking at, it is definitely the easiest process to set up.
Right, and you can find these easily on the internet, and there's a great deal of information. Since it's the internet, you'll find a lot of information.
Yes, absolutely.
And the three that I mentioned, I've dealt with Kickstarter and Indiegogo. They've worked for the people, and then I've got little perks. You give them a certain amount of money for what they're building, what they're designing, and then depending how much money you give them, you get a little decal, you get a T-shirt,
Absolutely.
you get some sort of memorabilia that you're happy with, and at the end result, you'll see that whatever the art piece is, or you'll be able to receive something that they're building also as part of the funding. Excuse me. But so anyway, so you decided to jump into what is Kickstarter?
Kickstarter, yes.
And you contacted them, and
At first, I reached out via internet, looked at my options, saw what they had to offer, the requirements, and from there, another individual that I knew that was also another artist decided that, hey, Rob, you should just go ahead and use Kickstarter because I've used Kickstarter. My friend used Kickstarter, and he said it was a simple process. You should look into it, and I did. And it was roughly right after my birthday I decided to do this. And so it's kind of like a birthday present surprise for myself. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump in. I really want to create this project, and I went ahead and signed up on Kickstarter and get the ball rolling.
excuse me, it's spring, so and I've been pulling weeds. Not at home. We don't have weeds. Where I work, we have weeds. One more. But, okay, so you started that, and what was how long? They give you a time span too, right?
There are time spans, correct. And that's a piece to where you can select what time frame that you want to go with. Most common, it's a 30-day time period. But if you need, and if it's going to be a larger project, you can, of course, opt to go with a longer period. I went with 30 days. There are projects out there that are 60 days, 120. So depending on the depth of your art project and the funds that you are trying to raise, that can make a big piece.
So I met you through a friend of ours, Bobby Wolf, who is we call her the mayor of Sin City.
Yes.
Not the big one, it's something else. But anyway, she sent a blast email out to the people in her group, and it was like you only had a few days left, right?
I did. We were down to the wire, and we were a little short. And at that point, it's all on you, on fundraising, advertising, marketing. And if you can be successful, and unfortunately you cannot be successful if you don't market your project and reach out. And that's the toughest part on this. And so of course I reached out to my network and asked all of my friends and all of my contacts, hello guys, what can you do to help me out spread the word? And that's something that our mutual friend Bobby, she was very excited about our project, and she goes, absolutely, I'm going to send out an email to all of my friends and see what kind of response that we can get to make this project happen, because it's a very exciting project.
Oh, it is. And I think I'm getting a T-shirt from you, or the, I forget how much I pledged, but you were short $2,102.
At that point, we were short $2,100, and that's that piece. Right around that time before that, I made, of course, a fatal error, and I didn't set up the gifting process.
Oh.
And as you had discussed, a lot of projects will have some type of small kicker going back to the donors, the people that are making pledges for you, whether it could be a sticker, a pin, something simple. And my partner in this project, he came to me and goes, Robert, where's our gifts? And I completely I spaced on the situation. I go, you're absolutely right. We've gone 2 weeks into the program, and we hadn't even had a third of the amount that we were looking for. And at that point, we went ahead and put in our gifts for the people that are making pledges for this project. And then, of course, reaching out to more people and just simply asking, can you also help spread the word? And by doing so, it's amazing when you ask your friends and talk to the community. You don't have to make a contribution, you don't have to pledge, but would you be willing to help spread the word? And that was a big piece.
Yes. So I'm a sucker for T-shirts, I'll tell you that. So if you want to do another one.
There we go.
Yeah, at the level where the T-shirt
At the level,
is.
there you go.
Yeah,
and we're pretty excited with a lot of the gifts that we decided to go with, because we wanted to really move people in this art piece. How can they be a part of it? They may not be able to go to some of the events that we're going to take this art piece to, or some of the festivals where we'll be at, but I want everyone to have a piece of this art piece. And that's something that one of my favorite give backs to my contributors and people that pledged was we are engraving a plaque that's going to be mounted on the art piece with everybody's name on there, so that way they are also part of it.
Okay, we're just about out of time. As we're saying goodbye to the folks for this segment, show them what you've built, what you will be building.
There we go.
That one.
We'll
see you next segment.